You know, every single day you interact with this huge system of power, one that's actively shaping your reality. But here's the really weird part. You never saw it on a ballot. You definitely never voted for it. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that very system.
This is familiar, right? You go out, you participate in democracy, you pick your leaders, you try to make your voice heard. It's a system that's been built up for centuries. It feels real, tangible, like you're actually a part of it.
And then there's this, something you probably do a whole lot more often. It feels completely different, doesn't it? It's more personal, maybe even a little trivial. But what if this simple act of scrolling wields a totally different and maybe even bigger kind of power?
In both of these things, voting and scrolling, you feel like you're in the driver's seat. You're the one making the call on what to watch, what to believe, who to listen to. And that sense of control, that feeling of agency, it feels totally real. But here's the question we have to ask. Is that feeling of control actually real? Or is it maybe the most sophisticated, most convincing illusion ever created? That's what we're going to dig into right now.
And this slide, this gets right to the heart of it. We're not talking about power with a politician giving a speech or a CEO smiling from a magazine cover. No, this is an invisible architecture built completely out of code, humming along silently in the background of all of our lives. Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers. How does a system with no face manage to create such a powerful illusion of free choice? Well, we need to look at something we're going to call the invisible filter. Just think about your day so far. The news you clicked on, the videos that automatically played next, the opinions that just so happened to pop up on your feed. Every single one felt like a choice you made. But are you really the one starting that chain reaction? And this is the absolute key. The invisible filter isn't some setting you can just go and turn off. It's a dynamic, always-on system that's constantly learning from you. Every click, every pause, every single share, all to build a custom-made version of the world, just for you. This shows you the consequence perfectly. What you see online isn't the whole picture, not even close. It's a curated feed, and for every single thing the system decides you should see, there's this massive universe of other ideas and perspectives that it's actively decided to hide from you. And that right there is the fundamental imbalance of power. It's like a one-way mirror. You're living inside this world it created for you, but you can't see the architect. It, on the other hand, sees every single move you make. All right, so if the system is a filter, then what's the engine making it go? What is its ultimate goal? Because I'm willing to bet it's not what you think it is. You can just forget all those lofty mission statements about creating an informed society or connecting the world. I mean, those might be the marketing slogans, but the code underneath, well, it's designed for a much simpler, much more primal purpose. That's it. That's the whole game. Not truth, not balance, not fairness, just capturing and holding your sustained, undivided attention. Because in this digital world, your attention is the most valuable resource there is, period. So how does it get that attention? It uses this simple but incredibly powerful feedback loop. So the goal is just to keep you watching. To do that, the method is to vacuum up data on everything that keeps you hooked. What's the result? Well, the more data it gets, the easier it is to predict what you'll do next. And the payoff? Well, when you can predict and influence the behavior of millions of people, that is a whole new kind of power. And this, of course, leads us to a massive, massive problem. When a completely new kind of power just sort of appears out of nowhere, who's supposed to hold it accountable? Especially when that power doesn't even have a face. I mean, just look at this comparison. We have ways to deal with traditional power. We can vote out a politician, we can boycott a company. But how do you hold an algorithm accountable? This new power doesn't need your approval. It just needs servers and data. It's kind of everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. Exactly. So when misinformation spreads like a virus, or when society gets more and more polarized, or when really harmful stuff gets amplified to millions, who do you blame? The company? The person who posted it? Or the invisible code that was just, doing its job of grabbing attention? And this is what it all boils down to. We are increasingly being shaped and steered by systems we never chose, that we can't really see, and frankly, that most of us don't understand. And yet, they are shaping public opinion and culture with zero permission from the public they're influencing. Okay,
So for this last section, we have to ask the toughest question of all, the one that kind of points the finger back at us. How did we even get here? And maybe more importantly, what are we giving up for the super convenient world this system is building?
Let's be real. We let this happen. Nobody forced us into this. We were offered convenience, connection, endless entertainment, and all we had to do was click that little box without reading the 40 pages of terms and conditions. Consent today isn't really informed, it's just automated. Now, this is a really crucial point. This is not some conspiracy theory about a secret group plotting in a dark room. It's actually much simpler and also much more complex than that. It's about the structure, a system that was designed for one goal and is now creating all of these massive unintended consequences. The system doesn't need to have bad intentions to create bad outcomes.
And that's the trade-off, isn't it? Every time we let a recommendation engine pick our next movie or our next book or our next piece of news, we're outsourcing a tiny piece of our own judgment. Sure, it's easier, it's faster, it's convenient. But what's the long-term cost of making all of those tiny little trades, day after day? So I want to leave you with this one thought. This system has an infinite appetite. It doesn't care about our permission in any way that really matters. It only wants one thing, to feed its engine and perfect its model of you, more of your data. And the real question we have to ask ourselves is, how much more are we willing to give?